Alright, hey guys, it's me, Amanda. Duh. My project is on Elizabethan social norms and expectations. And the two themes that I chose to focus on are royalty and social norms being placed on women. So to help me with my project, I've asked for assistance from two geniuses in the field of Shakespeare. First one, we have Mr. Gerard Zublinski, the director, and he's going to talk to us about social expectations placed on royalty.
Their behavior was expected to be very proper, not only in terms of moral standards, but also in terms of correct social and societal behavior that they would associate primarily with members of their own class, with aplomb, meaning that they're able to handle any kind of social situation that comes up in a diplomatic and appropriate way. They were, as the Renaissance went on, even at the end of the Middle Ages, they were expected also to be well educated. They were expected to be a well-rounded individual.
All right, excellent. Just to brush up on what Jerry said, basically that royalty are obviously expected to be very well-rounded individuals and are expected to lead by example, lead the people by example. Up next we have Mr. Pedro San Antonio. He's another Shakespeare professor like Miss Hatha Cannavale, and he's going to talk to us about social norms and expectations placed on women in society.
Well, this becomes a very interesting question, because what happens is that we have a patriarchal society. We have two types of women. Mm-hmm. Eve, temptress; Mary, virgin. Women have their place: marriage, property. But what happens is that, what if a woman wants to challenge that? What happens if a woman is smarter than the men around her? Mm-hmm. Do we then put her down? Do we label her as undesirable, unmarriageable, insane? What is she?
So women who displayed masculine qualities, like being power hungry, like in Lear, Goneril, and Regan, or women who were very outspoken and wouldn't shut up to others, like Beatrice from Much Ado, were criticized and considered unmarriageable. That was probably the worst thing that could ever happen to a woman, if she was being sentenced to being a spinster her whole life. And next, what I did was I actually interviewed real characters, Shakespeare's real characters. And I spoke to them about the way society views them. Ladies and gentlemen, Hamlet and Beatrice. Why don't you talk about what sort of judgments are placed on you by your society? How are you perceived?
Well, society looks at me as the one that will never live a normal life, because I am very outspoken and I speak my mind. Most women and men are put off at that. Benedict, the prince's right-hand man, more like the prince's jester.
Why don't you tell me about Benedict? What's your opinion of him?
Benedict is arrogant, self-centered, pompous, doesn't really care about anybody but himself. Idiotic, stupid, asshole, douchebag, uncontrollable, just smells bad, runs his mouth all the time.
Beatrice, I can see that you have a lot of rage towards this guy. I've heard some talk. Do you ever think that you may marry him someday, or do you ever have that notion where perhaps the reason you two always seem to disagree is because you are in fact in love with each other? Or?
No.
Hi, Hamlet. Well, Hamlet, I want to ask you a few questions. I understand that you're the Prince of Denmark, and father just died, so I'm real sorry to hear about that.
He was murdered.
All right.
My father came to me in full battle garment. He wore his beaver up.
From what I hear, people are starting to think that you're somewhat a bit psychologically unstable.
I'm
Now,
not mad.
I don't believe so. Why is it that you feel like your family is suddenly concerned for you?
They cannot comprehend the pressure that I'm under. They want me to be better than my father. They want me to be a great king. They want me to lead them into a new age. You don't argue.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. It's been a really fun semester with you all. It's been a pleasure.